Well, I've just got a call from Dad. He's gone and must have taken the Land Cruiser with the feed out bin out the paddock to go feed sheep, and he thinks he's got it stuck. So we're gonna grab Little Red. We're gonna go out to the first paddock with the chain and see if we can go rescue him. Let's go. Well, that's, yep, that's stuck. Landy's still got a little bit further than the Ford did. I don't know, I just don't like sand. Chain, nope. We're gonna have to push it from behind. Well, we rescued it. Little Red once again proved that it's, well, the most useful tractor on the farm. That's another point for the case over the John Deere. There you go, Dad. All right. Off Dad goes to feed some more sheep. Now, Little Red and I, we have to go home. It is 2023. My name is Noah, otherwise the Johnny Man, and welcome back to TJM Farming. Now, I know you guys said that you wanted to do a little bit of work experience with us, so, well, you come at a perfect time because we need all the help we can get to do some mineral drenching. We got to move some sheep, so let's get on with it. Pop you in the seat there. Let's roll. Now, the reason why I didn't show off these yards much in the 2022 videos is because of one key factor that you have to know about when it comes to sheep work. Both Dad and I, we really like swearing when it comes to the Merinos, and that's because the sheep, just like us, both parties, we do not like these yards. The sheep, they can be troublesome at times, and they decide to do everything in their power to make the work 10 times harder for us. Hence the reason why I do not record many videos in these sheep yards, because of the fact that we use curse words.
Hello camera, I've taken over the video again. My name's Bindi and I'm nearly 1 year old.
So what we're going to do now is Bindi and I, we are going to drive the sheep back out the paddock with Gator and Dad. They're just on the right hand side, and we're going to do a little bit of mustering shots. That should be fun. Yes, Bindi. Yes, we know. You can climb. Good morning, guys. It's been a couple of days. It's been a couple of days since you last saw us. And of course, you may have seen in the last clip of this video that we had a little bit of a incident where the GoPro was mounted to the Kubota and it fell off. I'll be honest, I did not expect that. Of course, Dad found it. Dad found it with the Gator and he took it home, and then we stopped filming for a couple of days because, as you can see behind me, the Mitsubishi is over there with a bunch of stuff on it. Also, a little bit of an update too. The Gator, unfortunately, the Gator will not be coming with us out the paddock today because it's pretty clear to us that the poor old boy needs to be retired from sheep work. We've had this thing for about 8 years as of this year, and when we started with it, it had a lot of kick in it. A lot of kick, but slowly over time it began to wear, and I mentioned this later down the track when one of my other projects of this year is revealed. That will be written down too, how the Gator sort of had this issue with a drive belt snapping and it couldn't go anywhere. It's gone for something like 3 or 4 of these. And since it came to Erinvale, it started out alright. It gave the Kubota here a run for her money, but now it's starting to get on in years. We've lost high range. Low range is barely keeping going, but reverse is fine. But then reverse has to be fine if this thing's...
I'm the world's best backwards driver.
So that brings into the question. We really need 2 mustering vehicles. And because the Kubota, it has some issues of its own with the handbrake not exactly... the handbrake over here, it shifts quite a lot. It's not very stable, and it gives off the effect that it feels like the brakes on this are stuck on all the time. So when we get a car lift eventually, I'm going to have to lift it up and see what we can do about getting those brake pads looked at and see if they need fixing. As for the Gator, well, I wouldn't be the Johnny man if I didn't have a John Deere. So, what's going to happen to the Gator? We're going to be retiring it from sheep work pretty soon. It won't be going out today because, well, as I said, high range is busted on it and low range is barely keeping together. If this thing is ever going to continue running, we need to pull it out of service now and park it down there at the shack where it will be in line for one of my many restoration projects. We have got a replacement for the Gator coming, and we aren't getting rid of this thing. No, I'm not getting rid of it. I'm gonna do this up alongside the Ford, and I'm gonna have it as one of my own vehicles for going around to shows and stuff. But the question for today is, what are we going to be using to muster alongside the Kubota? Because, well, the Gator's kaput, the Ford is 2-wheel drive, it can't go out the paddock. The Land Cruiser is hooked up to the feed bin, and we also need that as a firefighter back here. No, I wouldn't trust either of you two doing the sheep work either. That only leaves the Terry-Nugget. This thing right here went by many names. I do believe in the first ever video I recorded on this place, we called this a Suzuki, then it changed its name to Terry, then it changed its name to Dai, and then it changed its name to the Daihatsu, and then I discovered that the Daihatsus were nicknamed Nuggets over in South Australia. I really don't know what to call this thing. But hey, it runs. Mum and Dad bought this for me to use as a runaround vehicle, and I only ever driven it something like 2-3 times at all last year. The true reason for this is because the old battery that was in this decided that it was going to shit itself partway through last year. And it sat there for about 2 months up there where the Donga and the Isuzus are. And I just could not get it started. At the time, the Ford's battery was flat. It's still flat. And the Daihatsu's battery was flat too. I tried to get the Terrier started. Absolutely nothing. The Ford, on the other hand, he gave a real old grunt at it. It was like to say that I'm still here, I'm still kicking. Of course, we replaced the battery in it, Dad did, and hopefully it'll run all right. I mean, we've used it for mustering before. The Gator turned up and it was just the Kubota. So hopefully it will work today. So I assume the plan's going to be that Dad and Bindi are going to take the Daihatsu. I'm going to take the Kubota, and because I'm the cameraman and Dad doesn't exactly like holding the camera, we're going to go in the Kubota. So, in other news, we've the reason why videos have been slack on the channel lately, as I've discussed in the previous video where I took a look at the shack and gave an update of things around the farm, we've had a little bit of a different sort of video being filmed in the process of a 3-part series, which I'm very excited to take part in. There's a certain Merino sheep stud up in Badgingara that Dad's been working at for a little bit, helping them out with harvest and the like, and it's run by a good friend of ours, and we went over there last July and went and bought 3 rams. We're going to film those rams in the first part of the third part of the 3-part series, and we are going to take a look at why we bought those rams, what they've done for our sheep, and how much of a good impact it has been. 3-part series will, at the time of recording this, it's January 21st, so you probably won't see this video until about February, March-ish. I'm very behind on editing videos and stuff, and well, of course, school holidays are coming to an end, so stuff's gonna get busy again. But I will make time for editing the videos, so I want to get these out to you guys. The 3-part series will come out, no doubt, after this video goes live, and it will start as sort of like 2 5-minute interviews, and then it will have a slightly longer 10 to 12 minute video going over the operations of the sheep stud when I was out there last December. So I'm in 4-wheel drive right now. I'm only pushing 21 k's an hour, and keep in mind this is a diesel engine. Over there, that blue dot that's just disappeared over the hill, that's Terry. And the Daihatsu has a petrol engine, which means it can go slightly faster. Of course, with today's day and age, with diesel and petrol prices, and higher up globalist elites trying to make us buy electric cars so we can't go anywhere. Oh, sorry, I must have had a bug in my throat. Yeah, in this day and age with petrol prices and all that, it seems that petrol's getting to be a little bit cheaper than diesel. I don't know how long it will be until the diesel price comes down. It may never come down, you never know. But the point being, Terry's gone and disappeared. It's magic. She's flooring. I remember the first time Dad and I took a proper tour around the farm when we did that recording of the first video. Terry was section. Kubota's only pushing 28, 29, 30. And in regards to the Gator's replacement, which may be something green and yellow this time round, because I mean you gotta give the Johnny man a Johnny. It's tradition. I mean, well, obviously I'm not as much of a Johnny man as I used to be, but that's a different story. Anyway, the Gator's replacement, we've gone and ordered that from Acre. It should be around sometime next month. So February 2023 is the arrival date. And when that happens, I am going to be taking an in-depth look, comparing the performance of the Kubota, the new side-by-side. I'm not saying which because it's still a surprise yet. Gator, cough, cough. Yeah, we'll be comparing the performance between the Kubota, which is diesel, and if the 855, the old Gator, or Gator Mark 1, if it's up to deciding to work with high range, we might do a performance test on that too to see the differences. But yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to say the least. Might give the Kubota here a run for her money again. Yeah. It appears we have found the shape. Go around these and hold them.
Take them up the lane the yard.
Alright.
I'm going to set the yards up.
Okay. Oh dear. Little babies coming around already. Little black lamb. What is it? Something about nursery rhyme, bar, black sheep, have you any wool? Something like that. Anyway, we got to hold these. It seems the sheep aren't so sure. It's just not the same without the Gator. And without the Kubota's proper horn. So the plan from here is, well, today we got to take the rams out from the ewes. And to do that, we got to use the absolutely awful, terrible sheep yards. We have bought an extra set. We're going to rebuild the yards at home, and we're going to demolish the vintage yards pretty soon, and we'll have a new pair of yards that will set up to our own liking at the paddock here. Listen to this. Kubota's horn's back. Ooh, that doesn't smell exactly good. Oh, hello little fella. That's one of the natures of Australia, I guess. Right, it's time for mob number 2. Now we got to go to the other side and get them in the other pen. Hopefully Nelly sheep chaos will not ensue. Or should I say Erinvale sheep? I keep calling them Nelly sheep despite the fact that they've been on Erinvale for a year. cows are today, they've gone wandering. Speak of the bulls, here they are now. Ruby and Clarabelle. They're up behind those trees. They're up behind those trees, so they've just been wandering in and out of the paddocks as they do. We haven't touched them at all, really. We've just been feeding them. We might do something with them eventually. Maybe. Who knows? Come on, girls. Through the gate. No, we're not turning around. Delivery of minerals, and Dad says that if I could lend a hand for unloading that, that would be most helpful. And seeing as I need to get footage of Little Red for a well, another project, it'll come in handy. So this right here is just one of many loads that we've taken from Canna all the way down here. And the Mitsubishi truck, well, we've been rocking up more Ks than it's done when it was carting grain in the 1980s.
Got to have new tyres and the points there. Yeah, the points are reversible.
Yep.
They have to be oxy-torched and swapped around, new tyres put on it.
And then it'll be good to do some chiseling.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping to try ripping some of this country with it.
Yeah. So on the truck here, and towed behind it, we've got three things. One, which is the dirty big green water tank, which
Used to be a rainwater tank for the house.
yeah, used to be a rainwater tank for the house. Then we've got an old chisel plough, which Dad was just explaining earlier that the tyres are flat and the points are reversible. It's a bit rusty and it worked on the old farm for quite a few years. Because back in the day, Dad used to pull this behind his 4640. And a 4640, to my knowledge, is around 180 horsepower. So, around 145 horsepower, or between 100 and 200 horsepower. In that regard, that means that the 7810 over there should have no trouble pulling this. I would throw it behind the 8760, but there's two reasons why that's probably not very economical whatsoever. For one, this is actually pretty small. It's only a one section, and it's not one of those fancy cultivators or subsoilers that folds up. No, this is small enough that we can run it behind the 7810 just fine. And if we threw a 300 horsepower 8760 on this, it'd be a bit overkill. People would blast me in the comments for it. And then behind here, we've got one of the old retired air carts. This is a Forward Engineers 660. I do believe we got it sometime around the 2010s or something. Dad might correct me on that. But this came in place of the old Morris 6180, and it was fitted with the Type 2 tractor exhaust system. A system which, while others down south may swear by it, up in Canna, combined with the weather, it didn't exactly work for us. It is a proven method, of course, but of course this worked for us for a couple of years. I don't know exactly how long, and then it just sat in the paddock just below the silos, literally gathering dust right next to its yellow Chamberlain Airso counterpart. Unfortunately, while some people may say, well, it's a small air cart, why not put it to use? It's buggered. That's why. And the only real reason why Dad brought it down is because
The tyres are worth a couple grand each.
yeah, unfortunately the 660 may become a shell. We might do something with the frame.
Well, we might take the tank off it and put a liquid tank on it and convert it to a liquid tank.
Yeah, convert it to one of those liquid carts we run behind an air seeder or something. The frame's still good. The tank, to my knowledge, isn't. And the tyres are worth quite a bit, so, well, we'll find a use for it eventually. Better than seeing it be cut up as a whole. Well, some of it might be taken off, some of it might be kept.
And the hydro motor's worth a couple thousand as well.
Yeah.
There, that's another couple thousand.
Big hydro motor up there. Yeah.
All worth a bit of money.
Yeah. And in this day and age, a lot of people need to get as much money as they can possibly get their hands on. And if this will help in a successful running of the farm, then it'll all be worth it.